Thank you so much for taking your time today.
Okay. So, anything to proceed with today?
Yes, I was wondering, now that we do so many different practices, we do meditation, pranayama, we sing, chant the mantras, there are asanas to do, the kriyas. What is a good order in which those exercises should be done? For example, in a morning routine or in an evening routine, with what would you start, and what is your recommendation here?
See, whatever the practices you are going to perform to align the mind, the body, and the inner self, it's all the new kind of practices which we are not used to it. So, most of the time, the way which is told to us and how we are conditioned, we live with a state of body consciousness. So, whatever the practice is when you start with, it should start from the body. You should not immediately go to the mind, straight away going to the meditation. That's how people make big mistake. So, you should start with like a asana, a breath work, and then you can go for a meditation. So, especially in the morning, like you can do like you start up with a asana practice, a breath work you can do, or either you can do the breath work earlier, then do the asana. Yeah, however you feel comfortable, because when you do the breath work again, it's sitting. So immediately in the morning you can't sit and do. You need the body movement. The energy is stagnant. When you go for the sleep, what happens? The energy becomes stagnant because you are in the rest mode. Totally your body is in the rest. Sometimes because of wrong postures, the energy gets stuck. So in the morning when you wake up, better start with the body movement, then do some breath work. In the evening you can switch on to the kriya or meditation, such kind of practices. So that will make you to give a perfect balance.
Okay, so the kriyas you would do probably later in the day.
Yeah, later in the day.
And where would you do the mantra chanting?
See, you have to systemize in such a way, like in the evening, either going before for the bed, at the time of before going to the bed, it's a good wonderful time. You chant some mantras, and after that you just relax and go to shavasana. Your sleep would be more better because the mantras have given more vibrations to heal your body, heal your mind. It's a natural way of helping your sleep, to promote a good sleep also. So mantra chanting, you can do it before bedtime.
Thank you so much. Then I was wondering, how much of all of those practices does it really need? You know, there are so many different asanas, there are so many different kriyas, so many different pranayamas and different mantras and different meditations. But at the end of the day, if you want to just experience that silence within you, to connect, how much of all of this does it really need? You know, if you practice, do you need to practice all of this, or what is it that you really need to be successful? Because there's so much you can do. You could practice the whole day and still haven't done everything. But what is it that is really the essence to be successful?
See, the first thing, people sometimes they think, oh, the intensive body postures I do, so I can have a better physique and health. Maybe I could do good meditation. People think in such a way, the more the better, or the hard, the intensive I do, I can attain it. That's a wrong concept. You have to stick to a certain series of practices. That has to be practiced every day in an appropriate time. It is not one day you are practicing like 6 o'clock, the other day you are going for 8 o'clock. The body which is used and the energy which is moved at certain times is getting imbalanced because you change your timings accordingly. So you have to first fix a time, That's more important. Fix a series of practice. Say for example in asana you don't need to do very intensive asanas at all. You have to just do the Surya Namaskara, a series of Surya Namaskara. That is much more sufficient. If you do like 10 times or 12 times, 21 times, and make the repetition of that series, and then you finish the body work, then you do the basic preliminary practices of pranayama. It is not needed that everything you can't do in the whole day. Then if you are going to spend only with the practices, how are you going to work and take care of yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's more important. So what I can suggest to you or I advise you is that take a small series of practices in asana, go with it, master it. When you feel this practice has become more and more better, I can do it many times and in a perfect way. The alignment and balancing, even in the breath work, when you do the breath work, there is no congestions, I am not feeling any obstructions in my energy flow. And sometimes when you do the breath work, some people get like mood swings happens. They get irritated, agitations, palpitation, heartbeat increases sometimes. If they have a period of medical issues or something, then they should be more careful before they start doing any practices. If you have some breathing issues and already you have that issue and you are going to practice pranayama every day, if it is like a your breath issue is not in the very early level, the illness has started growing within you for a long time and you have not taken care, and it's in the second stage or third stage of like intensive medication is needed. At that time, if you are going to take the help of pranayama, it is not advisable because already you are having respiratory infections or something. So first you have to take the medication and take a support to heal yourself. Then you can start doing it. So my way is to better you just take a small series of collection of pranayama practices, asana practice, go with it every day. Don't make it like only this month I am going to do 10 days, then I am changing. Go with it as much as you can, and then after a couple of months, 3 months, then change the series. So keep on switching, this can help you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Then talking about pranayama,
Yeah.
and you also mentioned the breath work. Can you maybe help to distinguish that? I'm sure many people, they hear pranayama, they think of breath work, but it might not be exactly the same. So, for example, going to a holotropic breathwork session where you breathe very intensively for a long duration of time to achieve certain consciousness states, versus pranayama, which has a various breathing techniques. How would you distinguish those two?
See, when you talk about the ancient practices of pranayama, which is coming from the very far old ancient knowledge of wisdom, it is a scientific method. Each and every practices of pranayama is a scientific way of approach to slowly enhance and make the progressive development within. There are intensive pranayamas also, but as a beginner they will not teach you. When you go to any person to learn, they will teach only the beginner level. Once you get slowly adapted to it and your body, your energy body gets tuned up into it, then you can go for the intensive workouts. But when you talk about the breathwork sessions, yes, for a beginner at some time it can create a big massive blown up situation because he or she has never done certain workout, and if you are going to do certain things and which is just an experiential way of like creativity, this might be the breathwork sessions is nowhere systemized or any patternized informations about it. Everybody, you can also create your own like ability of breath work, but it might suit to you, but it might not suit to other person. But when you talk about the pranayama practices from the ancient Yoga Sutras, it has been proven that once a person does it, there is no any harmful effect unless if he or she does not have any prior medical issues. So that is how like just for a moment of like a glimpse or a just go and just have a experience, you can get into that practices of breath work. But if you want to just align the prana properly, then it's better go with the pranayama practices, and then you can align by learning the breath work sessions. Also you can feel the difference, like if this is making you harmony or it is giving you some kind of like imbalance. Then you can differentiate with your own experiences. So I'm not saying that that's wrong at all. There might be some good breath works also, but you cannot tell in such a way that it is apt for everyone.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
I think that's it for today.
Okay.
I'm sure there will be more questions tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Namaste.
Guruji.